Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the MLG studios here in New York City, and welcome back to Heart of the Swarm Exhibitions. Today is Monday, which means we're watching a King of the Hill. I'm axeltoss, he's axslav. You just saw a promo for our YouTube channel, and we need subscribers. So if we jump on over to my screen really quick, I will tell you exactly how to do it. I'm a pretty good teacher. I'm a pretty good instructor, so listen closely.
It's a complex process.
It is. Get out your little your notebook paper. Get out your pen, or on your computer, you can actually just follow along with me. First step, step one: www.youtube.com/official MLG SE2. I want every single one of you doing this right now with me, because if you do, I'll be a very happy person, and we can jump up in subscribers, and you get to discover a bunch of awesome StarCraft 2 content. So go to that webpage, and you should see this right here in the middle of the screen. Very easy to access. Hit that subscribe button. I don't feel like logging in, but you should go ahead and log in and do that. Hit that subscribe button, and you will now have access to awesome StarCraft 2 content brought to you by MLG. Pretty much everything we do is VODed and put and placed on YouTube. So Holt versus Damaga, show match from last week, it's there. We have some community critique from Rules of Engagement. We have Heart of the Swarm beta patch notes. Me and axslav, we like talking about them. So generally whenever patch notes come out, we talk about them. It's on the YouTube channel. So head on over to youtube.com/official MLG SE2. Also, if you're interested in League of Legends, you can go subscribe to them. 985, Call of Duty, you can subscribe to them. They're destroying us, which is a little bit embarrassing, but I think we can change that. So guys, please take a little bit of time out of your day to go ahead and hit that subscriber button. And of course, maybe we'll send some beta keys your way if you do well enough for us. We want to hit 2,500. That's our goal. We want to hit that as fast as possible. So if you can do that for us, really appreciate it. But coming up next, we're going to have Shew versus Goswser. Let me make sure the players are correctly colored.
Looks like we need to switch the colors up just a little bit, and Shew actually is taking a quick break. We'll be getting this game started in a second, but so we've already seen Shew play a PvZ, right? And he has kind of his little formula set up, right? He does some gateway pressure to keep the Zerg on the defensive and try to distract him, or he does an air transition that'll do some more damage, and then he transitions to the third base. And then from the third base, he builds up that Colossi. He gets whatever he wants. Like, I mean, I can't even say he teched a certain thing, because eventually he got everything in the game. He had Storm, he had Void Raids, Colossi, whatever Zerg needs to do well, or whatever Protoss needs to do well versus Zerg, excuse me. Probably very reactionary, depending on what his opponent does. Let's see if Goswser can have an answer for that. One thing I do think is Goswser is a player who, if he does do this Mass Roach Hydra stuff, he'll do it as a timing. He won't do it like Damaga played like a macro game with low-tech units, right?
Yes.
Goswser, like, he goes extremes. Like, if he's gonna stay low-tech, he'll get in your face and try to, like, kill you early.
Yeah.
If he's not in your face early, this guy's technically something crazy in the backyard. Maybe even building spine crawlers in some weird corner of the map that he's gonna march at you. Who knows?
That seems crazy.
It does seem crazy. It's
but I like it.
It's gonna be fun, man. Goswser is a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, and he actually made his debut not too long ago in the MLG King of the Hill, and he got like a 3-game winning streak going on until Crank came up and beat us. So Goswser is very good at not only StarCraft 2 but Heart of the Swarm.
He had a really close game versus Crank.
Oh yeah.
And he was actually like, I feel he would have won that game if he wasn't like, he just really wanted to test out the new Ultralisk. And so he made nothing but Ultras for the last 20 minutes of the game.
Honestly, every game, didn't he go Ultras? I felt like...
I think he did.
Something like that.
I think, well, you know, it's what you do in the beta. You're like, I want to find out how good this unit is on its own. And then you
so just
okay,
keep using it until you lose.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's good versus this thing, it's not so good. So in the future, if I see this, I'll mix in something else as well, right?
Absolutely.
Great way to improve the game.
Goswser has picked the map here of Daybreak. Every one of the viewers should be relatively familiar with this map, as it has had a long run in Wings of Liberty and now Heart of the Swarm. Zergs have historically loved this map against Protoss recently, at least later stages of Wings of Liberty, because of the viability of Broodlords and Infestors and the ability of Spine Crawlers to uproot and move across creep toward their opponent, provided you have sufficient creep spread, which most Zergs at the top level generally do. So, that being said, introduce players top right hand location. We have the blue Zerg player, Goswser. He is the challenger against the current king and also the birthday boy. He has a birthday boy. At what point is it a birthday man? I'm just curious. Just throwing it out there. Because I think he turned, what,
Well, no, but birthday man doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
It's always a birthday boy. You
so
could be
you would
60.
call your grandpa
I would.
a birthday boy if it was okay.
I would.
Fair enough. I just wanted some clarification. Bottom left-hand location, we got Shew, currently on a 2-game winning streak, trying to extend it to 3. But Goswser is pretty good at this game. He had a nice run in Iron Squid.
He did.
Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah, it was the highest placing non-Korean in Iron Squid.
He got to the round of 8. Very good player. Lost to
There
Life.
might have been one other non-Korean in a round of 8.
Stefano.
Stefano, that was it. Okay.
He lost to Life.
You know,
3 to 2. He was 1 win away from going to the Iron Squid finals.
And he was 1 win away from beating Life.
Yes, and guess who won Iron Squid?
Life.
Don't spoil. Wow, Nick. Way to go.
You set me up, man.
I did.
But you know what?
Are you mad?
The finals were actually excellent.
They were.
I watched it. And,
Shout out to Iron Squid. Great job.
And actually, you guys, even if you know who the winner is, you'll watch it and you'll think I was trolling you. For the first couple games. Anyways.
See, now you're spoiling more. Spoiling how the games went.
No, if I keep spoiling it, then you won't know what to trust. If I keep saying random things, right?
But you have to mix in some inaccurate stuff there. But everything you said may or may not have been accurate so far.
Well, maybe, may not. We don't know yet. You'll have to watch and find out. Anyways, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, the point is, Goswser is good at this game. Go give him a follow on Twitter. He's also a very good Twitterer. Both these guys are. Team Millennium for Goswser. And Shew is currently on Clarity Gaming. So, Daybreak. BBZ, Heart of the Swarm. What do you expect to see from these guys?
I am tempted to say Shew's going to do the same build.
Okay.
Which makes sense. Like, when you're practicing, you want to keep doing the same build. Until you get it down really solidly. And Shew's been doing, I think he's still tweaking that build a little bit. So I want to see him keep doing the same build and try to make it, maybe a little more optimized. I think he could take a third slightly faster, maybe. I don't know though. It's risky. As far as Goswser, I have no idea. I feel like I want to say
fast ultras. All right. Well, he picked the map. We know that much.
He did. I almost feel like he's going to use Mew this year.
Okay.
I'm not positive though, but I feel like that'd be a good choice on his part.
Of course, mutas have, if any of y'all are new to Heart of the Swarm, Mutalisks are better than they were in Wings Liberty. Some people may be like, what? They were already pretty good at Wings Liberty. But Blizzard wants to, since they did a little bit of a nerf to the Infestor, they want to try to encourage the use of more than just Infestors out of the Zerg race. So they're like, alright, let's buff the other ones. So mutas can now regenerate.
And that is so insanely valuable.
And they can fly a little bit faster.
Against Psionic Storm, like, Psionic Storm is the hard counter Mulus. It's like pretty much the only hard counter Mulus unless you want to devote like a mass Phoenix army.
Yeah.
Like a few Phoenixes won't do too much. You have to get like mass Phoenixes to really compete with them. Cannons don't really do that well once these numbers get pretty high.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't. What's interesting thing is certain units that are cost efficient in small numbers, as you scale up, you can't have all the cannons in range of each other. Whereas all the mutas can fight one section of cannons, right? So as the numbers scale, the mutas get better and better and better versus cannons. Just because the cannons won't be able to protect each other very well.
So this looks like a Dark Templar play.
It does.
From Mr. Shew. And he has a probe in the bottom side of the map. Now, Dark Templar Shrai is 100 gas resources less, I think. It's now 150 gas.
I believe so. I can actually check. Yep, it's 150, 150. So it's 50 minerals more and 100 gas less.
Which enables you to get it pretty fast. I mean, you don't have to take your gas state naturally. You can just take gas through your main, and you should be able to get it no problem. Now, Goswser has to do something to scout this, or Evo chambers are not required for spore coils anymore. So some Zergs will just straight up put spores down just to be safe. Just one or two. Nothing too crazy. Like maybe one at the natural expansion, one at the third. But I foresee a very tricky situation here for Goswser if he does not start reacting to the Dark Templar play. We
can see he built the Roach Horn earlier than his standard for Zerg, and that's because he saw a very late 3rd and 4th gas from the Protoss. So he suspects gateway pressure is coming, because the time of the gases means that Shew either build a fast Nexus or a fast couple gateways before he's really is going to spend a lot of money in tech. I mean, it's obviously not Nexus because he would see that, being a great scatter like he is. So he has a strong suspicion there's some Zealot pressure coming in. But I don't think he knows about this Dark Shrine coming in behind it.
I don't think so either. And look at this. This pylon is going to finish at the perfect moment, and it's pretty much right outside Goswser's third base. There's no detection anywhere. Goswser has an Evo chamber about 80% of the way done. He doesn't need that to make spores, so it's not like he's making this Evo chamber for spores. He just has upgrades on his mind. There's the Spire. Apparent Mutalist transition going to happen, but guess what? 2DT's on the way, and there's no detection here for Goswser.
I think he just has to give up the third first. Actually, no, he can make a...
Yeah, Overseer's on the way.
If these cities went straight for the hatchery.
I think they can still kill it.
He still kills it. But you know, it's not the end of the world.
He kept most of his drones alive.
Yeah, exactly. He kept his drones alive. He's got decent tech on the way.
Wow, he's making 4 spines.
I think he's afraid it's gonna be followed up into like a charge on our Archon and he wants to not have to build roaches. Like he built a few here because he felt he had to get something going. But he really wants to avoid making roaches if he can, because he wants to spend all his resources on those Mutas. We can see his bank is kind of scaling up in preparation for that.
Goswser, keep in mind, Shew can recall at any moment. Keep that in mind with that Mothership core.
Shew knows what's up. Look at that chrono boosting Phoenixes non-stop out that Stargate.
Oh, he scouted the Spire then, obviously.
Or he just suspects it from the fact that if the Zerg's building 3 spines and he gives that third that easily, I mean, it could be Infestors, but it's more likely to be Mutalists if they make that many spines, because Infestors would already be on the way at that point, so they wouldn't feel the same need.
To your point about the, making the spines because you're scared of the gateway pressure. Maybe Shew would think, oh, he's making the spines because he's scared of my gateway pressure, rather than, oh, he's making the spines because he's trying to save up resources for Mutas.
Well, but that's why he's scared of gateway pressure.
Okay, because he's
spending resources
heavily.
if you're spending resources on roaches or whatever,
yeah,
you don't need the stack defense.
Fair enough. And speaking of lots of units, plenty of speedlings spewing out of here for Goswser. The Spire is done. Oh, the Mutas are already on the field here.
You know what's interesting is, I mean, the Mutas won't do really much anything at all, because there's just so many Phoenixes already ready for them.
And I don't think Shew has discovered, or Shew has revealed them either.
No, he hasn't.
So there could be a potential situation where it's like a bait attempt where Shew's like opens his doors and says, hey, I don't have any defenses for the Mutas, and then he swoops in with the Phoenixes and tries to get as many kills as possible.
Definitely a viable option here. The Mutas almost might not be the biggest threat to Shew at this moment, though. There's enough speed leans.
That's a good point.
It's going to be hard for him to take that third base, at least without a few more, maybe Zealots or an Archon or something like that to help deal with it. He does have to kill that over first in any case. But look at Goswser. He's already transitioning out of that, and now that he sees the Phoenix, he's definitely not going to invest too much more in the Mutalists. Just keep them back, and once he gets a couple fungal growths down, they'll regain their value.
Honestly, like, how many Mutas did he even make?
8, maybe?
8? Forcing out 6 Phoenixes? The third is delayed a bunch.
I'd be happy to start here.
I'm okay with it. Now, does Shew just make this into 2-base all-in? Is that possible? He
would have already had to build 3 more gateways. I mean, as soon as he built the Robo, that kind of turns it off. Like, I don't think you can afford to invest in the Robo. You could definitely play it differently. And I think it might have worked if he played it as a 2-base all-in, but that would have already hit by now.
Yep.
As it is, I think his option's fine. Going Colossi, taking a third base, which
a little bit slower, but as long as you get it out.
And I mean, Goswser's third is really, I mean, it's just recently gotten up. In fact, there's not even many drones there right now. So it's not like Shew's really significantly behind in economy. I mean, barely. I mean, he's basically on track for a Protoss versus Zerg. I think it's safe to say.
So at this point in the game, we're saying that these players are relatively even. Yeah. Or Goswser slightly ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even... If he doesn't start taking hives soon, I'm not even sure if he's ahead.
Alright, we'll keep an eye on that. Ew, look at the Mutas trying to get the Phoenixes close to the Infestors.
This is called a dangerous game.
Very dangerous. If you miss-micro those Phoenixes for a second, they're all going to die. People
think the most dangerous game is hunting other humans because of that book, but no. It's hunting Mutalists underneath Infestors.
Hunting other humans?
Yeah, you never read that book? Most Dangerous Game? Alright, well, never mind then.
Sorry.
But yes, in this case, it is definitely the Mutalisk-Infestor combination is the scariest predators around.
Alright, we'll have to see what kind of damage Goswser can do with this. Now, I am surprised about the fact that he hasn't gone up to that hive yet.
He just wants to put pressure on.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can break this, man. Not with the Colossi there to help deal with any mass infested Terran. Oh, and then of course that photon overcharge on the Nexus.
Yep.
It's that Vaughn there. He's got to go high, but the longer he waits. Oh, look at those DTs.
Yeah, they're targeting down that 4th base. Goswser definitely caught off guard by this, pulling those mutas back to try to deal with it. And he actually added a bunch of mutas to his composition.
He did. He really did. You know, I feel like he's just going to commit to pure mutas. He's getting his second attack upgrade, so this is okay too.
Yeah.
This is, I actually don't mind what he's doing here. It's going all the way into mutalist.
You know, the danger with that is, you know, Shew just continues to invest into Phoenixes.
He has a few infestors though.
Right,
so we
exactly.
can do things like, you know what's actually really mean? So normally how you counter with mutalist, I'm gonna give away all the secrets.
Go ahead.
But what you do is you build a Nidus canal.
Okay.
And then when you counter
bring your
mutalist,
infestors with you.
Yeah, you bring the Zerglings too. The Zerglings
neat.
will help against, you know, everything. Zerglings and infestors both help so much in those muta counters. And like, yeah, you can't build a Nidus normally in your base because they'll just kill, right? But if you fly in 20 mutas first,
kill whatever's there.
Yeah, I mean it's not that hard to get it up at that point. And it'll definitely, I mean, if your opponent turns around, that's fine. You lose 100 from the Nidus. It's not the end of the world, right? And you can escape through it as well.
I like it.
So it's a very, very strong way to play mutalist. Shew's going on the offense, which I think is smart because he doesn't have Storm, so you really don't want to let the mutas scale too much.
I think both these players might be going for the offense. Is it too late for either to turn around? And I think it might be. This might be a base trade scenario. We have Goswser. Oh no, he's just going to recall.
Oh, recall to the wrong base though, perhaps. Maybe not actually. No, I don't know. It's hard to tell because whichever base you recall to, Goswser can attack the other one. That Nexus is going to go down. Oh, the Phoenixes! Oh, great spread there, actually. He spread them out a little bit, made it sure, and now he's focusing infestors with the lifts.
Great spread at the last moment there, but all these infestors are going to go down, and that's a lot of infestors that...
It was an interesting trade, all the infestors for all the Phoenixes. Oh, no, the Templar Archives!
Oh, that's huge. Was it researching Storm? Did he get it
No,
finished?
not yet, but I mean, it was clear he was planning to. He just made his money on Warpins at the moment. And this is just the worst position a Protoss can be in when you're like, you don't have a very cost-efficient answer to mutalist. You don't have the Storm up. So you've got to leave a ton of units back to defend.
And we have 8 more in production, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost a checkmate point. Like,
What are the exact steps Shew needs to make to get back here?
I think he needs to do one of two things. Either, he cannot be taken 4th base. He can't hold that. He's just going to lose his army out in the middle. I think what he needs to do is he needs to either get a second Stargate and a fleet beacon right now, or he needs to go Temple Archives. He needs to commit to one of those two paths.
So Goswser is going to go into the main. He's going to see all the Stalkers there, which means his opponent's 4th is going to be vulnerable.
It is.
Exactly.
Shew just got to give up the 4th.
Or Goswser's going to go this again.
It only lost him 100 minerals though, so if he could able to somehow get a lot of cannons up there. Oh man, look at these cannons just melt.
Evaporating. He's going to target the next.
Not even getting a single mutalist kill there. The damage is all going to be generated. Even the photon overcharge is more like a tickle at this point. Finally taking out one.
And these mutas have regen. Let's remember that.
I mean, Shew's got a nice army, but he can't do anything with it is the problem. And he's just pinned so far back. I mean, it's actually, you know, Goswser, he's going to keep getting upgrades. Oh, 35 Banelings.
Oh.
I don't know if I like that, actually. I would rather those be just more mutalists.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's...
I mean, you just add supply. It's just the gas count.
Yeah, exactly. It's the gas count. And there's already a couple Colossi out, you know that. I mean, actually, you know what? I like it if he's going to use him just to kill a Nexus. Because in an actual battle, they're just all going to get force fielded into a little donut, and then...
or you burrow all of them.
Oh, yes, you snipe the Observer, and then you hope for, like, the most massive Banyan bomb the world's ever seen. He's just going to run him to this Nexus, though. Good night, Nexus.
All right, Goswser coming straight for the Nexus. Baneling's going to explode into it. Actually going to go straight for the main army. They're going to force fields, and now... Oh, wow, they're actually getting a lot of damage done. The force field's not completely sectioning them off, and the Nexus goes down. Muta's turning around, going to target down the Phoenixes. And Goswser is going to finally back away.
I mean, the Banelings weren't super efficient there, but they basically distracted the army. Oh! So he got the Nexus in any case, and 12 more mutas on the way.
Jeez. So he's going to be up to 47?
Yeah, he'll just aim at that point.
47 mutas. I once, for fun, played a custom game on Ohana against an easy AI and just made as many mutas as I can. I think I was only able to get to like 30. And And I'm impressed that Goswser is able to alienate.
Yes, and he is playing versus someone a little bit stronger than the AI.
Yes.
Oh, the Mita's going to the main. This is just gonna be, wow. They're just gonna go for the Nexus now. They'll deny the gas mining. Or I assume they are. Yeah, there they go. I mean, the Mutas can actually beat the entire Protoss army at this point, so there's really not that much to say. GG.
Wow. Goswser showing the power of Muta's play, and it's interesting the mind games that happened during that whole process, because Goswser started out going Mutas, but then Shew scouted it, or Shew knew about it really fast, so he had Phoenixes ready and waiting, and then he showed the Phoenixes, and then in his mind he's like, all right, my opponent's probably making a hive. He's not going to keep making mutas because I have so many Phoenixes. Why would he continue making mutas?
And even saw the infestors.
Yeah, so and I think that Goswser did that on purpose. He showed some infestors. He's like, hey, I transitioned away from mutas. And then right when Shew sees that, Goswser's like, okay, I'm going straight back into mutas because I know that he thinks that I transitioned away from them. And throughout that whole process, Goswser was upgrading the mutas.
He was.
It's a really cool play.
So you got to check out their spire. If you see it wiggling,
yeah,
you know something may be up.
Now, do your graphics settings, like if your graphics settings are higher, is that easier to spot? If the wigglage is
it's
there?
not too hard in any setting.
Okay.
I mean, you just have to know what to look for.
Yeah.
But I mean, the hard part is getting an observer that deep into a certain base. When you already open DTs, and you're probably gonna have detection.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
game Goswser taking down Shew on daybreak. Of course, Shew was on a 2-game winning streak, and now that streak is over, and now we'll have to see what Goswser can do. The last person to take him out was Crank when he played before, so Goswser is definitely very good at Heart of the Storm. We'll see if we can find someone who can take him out. If you're a pro player and you want to get involved, you want to play, join channel MLG in Heart of the Storm, and I'll see if I can make it happen. That being said, coming next, it's going to be Goswser, the current king, against his challenger. Don't go anywhere.